right.
We meet again.
We do meet again.
Have we met since Vegas? We did. We had a photo shoot.
Yeah. We got right to work. We got right to work.
Yeah.
But came back super inspired.
You did? I didn't.
I did. Because a couple of things. Well, I guess we can get like, let me see.
No. Oh.
Welcome everybody to another episode of Vocal Conversations. I'm Michael Edwards.
I'm Natasha Henry.
Oh, we know who we are today?
We're getting straight to the point.
Getting straight to the point today, okay.
Time is money. And you definitely not paying me for this.
We're going to talk about that pretty soon.
Yeah, that is actually part of today's topic, right? Money.
We'll talk about that at another time.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Today's topic is
trying to give people, at least they'll know what to look forward to in our next.
I'm bringing the audience in.
Way to play it off. Way to go. Bravo,
Come on.
bravo. But yes, I was talking prior to reintroducing myself to the community about the fact that we are just getting back from an amazing conference. And one of the things that I'm starting to realize is things are what you make it. You know, things are what you
That's
make
a fact, because it sounds like we had two different experiences. You like an amazing conference.
Mhm.
On the other hand, I don't want to go back to WPPI unless it's a team-made photo walk. I'll go the day of this photo walk.
No, okay, I'll say this. All right, so it's
Right,
a
tell the
combination.
truth.
I'll give my side of things, because you know
Why am I pulling my hair?
I don't know. You feeling yourself today? Is that what it is?
I just need something to hold.
Like I was saying, it is what you make it to be. Because I was coming from to go to the conference. I was coming from another location on the West Coast, and I arrived in Vegas, and I was kind of tired, and I was kind of like in a place where I didn't even want to create. I just came from working. I was tired, and when I got there, to be around a lot of people who had a common goal of wanting to better themselves was beautiful to witness. Now, I will say that WPPI is different from any other conference that we've gone to, because I feel like WPPI is so massive that it's not as energized.
There was no vibe.
It's not as energized as, say, a Shutterfest.
Yeah.
Or
It was a bunch of people
imaging.
in a room, and we all had a camera.
Or
Well,
Build or something like that.
Yeah.
But what I will say is, I love the fact that every type of creative had like their own gift to the people that are connected to them.
Yeah.
So you saw so many different photo walks, so many different photo experiences by other creatives that made it the connection. And for us, we got to link up with our good friend T-Mid, and we got to meet some dope creatives. Shout out to Anthony Talk. Anthony, man, meeting you live, and I've known Anthony for quite some time, since COVID and online, and we're always sharing, and encouraging one another. And sometimes like when you go and you meet people, they're not exactly what you think.
Oh,
they
you
are.
met some that wasn't like that, right?
We're not going to talk about it. We're
You're
not going to talk about that.
Okay.
We're not going to talk
All right,
about that.
back to the
Talking
topic.
about the good. But meeting
Bad and
Anthony
ugly.
and meeting the other people that were part of we literally, from the moment we got into that van.
It was pure. So that was a vibe.
Yeah.
That few hours that we spent, I'd rather go just for that and avoid all. Well, if I need a new lens, I'll go and get.
Oh, wait, because we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna get to that. Because
that was a vibe. The whole teammate experience was a vibe from the van. It's like I knew these people already, and I was meeting everyone except teammate
for the first time.
Even Anthony, because you guys have had the virtual meets,
exactly.
But I've never met him.
But it's like the moment I met Anthony, it was like we were longtime friends, and he welcomed me because he's based out of Las Vegas. So it was like, he's like, welcome to Vegas. You know what? We're going to have a good time. And we, at first I was a little wary. I was like, we going to get in some vans. We about to.
I mean, you were timid. It's always an adventure, right? If you look at his,
Yeah,
if you look at his stories and the
but
travel,
it didn't no justice because
yeah,
the vibes were every
it was vibe.
participant in that particular trip and journey. Everyone lended themselves. We had a funny person.
Oh, I became a mom on scene. True Natasha mode.
You know,
I mean, it was
shout
fun.
out to everybody who was part of that journey.
Yeah.
And we went and we got a chance to create, like way back when you and I used to go to portrait meet, and it was just we just was having a great time. And
Yeah.
in that moment and in that group and talking to the individuals, sharing experiences, creating together, we did all wait till it got dark, and it was beautiful. And you got to meet a Lucian
you know,
along the way.
My family was there. I mean, when we first started, I was like, it's just 3 models, and later on, just talking, and I realized, wait,
Yeah.
my Lucian sis is in the building, so it was fun. It was fun.
So my WPPI experience is connected to that experience, and that was the takeaway. And you know, there were other things that we got to experience. We got to see our friends over at Ville Trucks. We got to chop it up with them, but more so, it was an opportunity to see and connect with a like-minded group of people who were going to a location to get better
Yeah.
at what they love. And that was really dope. And you know, a lot of people tried to take away from the keynote and say, oh, she was this and that. And I'm like, but look, at the end of the day, we got to.
Not a lot of people. Me, I took away from the keynote. I don't know what I was sitting in. I don't need to sit in front with millions of people for you to go through your book. So you have a different take.
But I had a different take too, because it was like, you know what? You know, we see images, but we never know the stories behind it.
But the stories behind it wasn't told. It was flipping the page, a quick highlight. How did I get to Rihanna? Lady, I need to know how you book Rihanna so I can follow how you book Rihanna. But it was funny
because you would look at the pictures like, how did she get that shot?
Like, I need the full story behind it.
But I really, shout out to Annie Leibovitz. I really loved that she captured women in such a beautiful way. Like, you know, you see the strength, not a lot of times you see people, a lot of times when they shoot women, they try to shoot them as like, oh, beautiful this or beautiful that.
That's a good point. I think the images show more voice than her speaking. I did not need, give me a book. Give me a damn book. Right?
All right, let's get back. I
didn't need a voiceover. I did not need a voiceover during a keynote. The point of a keynote, you need to sell.
I think we were spoiled by the fact that our first ever keynote was just like one of the most amazing.
You have to also understand that when I go to conferences for my job, these things are part of it.
Yeah.
So you go in, and we all try to make it. That's the one time you're like, I have to be on time, right?
Yeah.
Standing in the line was wrapped around the whole Rio just for you to walk me through your book like I'm in kindergarten. NASA.
I liked it.
You see that?
But getting back to our experience, getting back to WPPI, one of the cool things.
You don't like to focus on the negatives. You move fast.
I don't.
Life is positive and negatives, and
but it's
sometimes they
like
need
how
both.
I started this pod. It's
put your finger down.
You make it. It's what.
Give me a book.
That's why I wanted to start.
I made it.
It's what.
Give me a book. Or
let's go back.
Buy the book.
One of the cool things too, like, you know, in between the conferences, they had this thing called I Spot You or Spot You.
Oh, the photography.
Yeah,
thing.
like, so the cool thing was, you know, throughout the times, if a picture was taken of you by these people, this alert would come on and say, I spot you. And we got to take these random pictures along the way that, again, give you a vibe like, hey, I'm here, I'm present, I'm creating. And it just was a beautiful experience for me. I came back inspired. I came back wanting to give more to the creative community.
No,
I
didn't come back feeling that way. No, that I spot you thing was dope as hell. I might invest in it, but they kept bugging me. 3 days later after WPPI, I'm like, I'm in Maryland. You can't spot me anymore.
I did get a few of those.
I was like, wait,
wait, are there more images?
I was like, I know exactly what we did. I mean, it was email and text.
Myself, I'm scrolling like, wait, was there more?
Did we miss something? Was a camera following us? Yeah, so it kind of freaked me out a little bit, but I loved the concept of it, capturing the memories of being somewhere. And then I loved the concept where they had like the photo shoots at the base.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So that was interesting.
Oh,
they never called me. Whatever that booth was where Mimi and I shot, they scheduled a meeting for the 13th. Never got
You're not going to the castle?
They bamboozled my ass. I won't make it to the castle. I was like, weird, but we didn't even take their information, so there was no way of contacting them.
But again, back. So let's get back to your experience from the consumer experience. So there's different portions that come along with these conferences. There is what you can classes, inspiration, things of that nature. But there's the consumer side when you go onto the expo floor that is really dope that you got excited about this year. So what was your goal? What was your goal? And then let's talk about that.
You say it's what you make of it, right? So I knew my goal was I'm definitely getting that 45, that Canon 45 1.2 millimeter. I knew I was gonna get it. So the only thing I wanted to do in the expo was find where it is, and I did that. I bought it. I didn't post the.
But shout out to the people who actually did. So it was more than that. So Natasha was like, "Oh, hey, can I see this? Oh, I don't know." They were like, "Hey, we have a local store. You can go to locals," and that kind of turned Natasha.
I was like, "I'm not leaving here."
And so the one lady, she was so nice. She was like, "You know what? I'm gonna make sure that it's available or whatever." The next day, you get there.
It was.
They held it right for you. Made the experience.
They had more than one, like I told them.
Yes.
They had more than one.
So, those are the things that conferences, and I encourage you guys to connect with conferences, but know what you want out of it going into it. The benefit to us going to this conference and knowing that we were going to connect with Team Mid.
Yeah.
Knowing that we were going to connect to different things.
And we've always wanted to try this one. And you may try different conferences and you realize this is not. It's just like my job. I get nominated every year for a conference, and when I come back, I can go back and say, please don't nominate me again. I don't want to do this. Or there's ones that I really like, and I was like, I'm hoping to do this next year. So it's the same thing with photography conferences. I wasn't a fan of WPPI, but as long as Team Mid has a photo walk, I'm booking that photo walk and I'm going. I don't have to pay for the whole WPPI registration. We can do the expo. But then we've learned what it is, and we learn what works for us. Right. You may enjoy the full experience. That's on you. But then I know, okay, if I go there next year, exactly what interests me.
But also, we're going there as vetted creatives. And so our approach is a little different. For those who are new to this, if you're new to going to conferences, I would say before you go to a WPPI, I would say go to a regional conference. Go to like Shutterfest. Shutterfest is every year. It's going to be in St. Louis.
Yeah.
St. Louis is a beautiful city. The food is amazing. The conference is it's big, but it's intimate enough where you can do and learn all of the things that you want. Imaging is consistently in places where you can have a good time. It's, again, a more quaint conference and things of that nature. And then like here in the Northeast, every 2 years we have Build, which is
easy
a
access.
Really dope conference. You have the energy of the East Coast in a big city and things of that nature that lend itself to. So do your homework. Know what you want going to it. Know the creatives that you really, because sometimes meeting the creatives that you like is not always.
It's not the same.
It's not the same.
Oh, it's not what you expect.
Right.
Yeah.
So you want to make sure that you have a knowledge of what it is that open mind to what it is that you're going to experience. And I want to give a big shout out to Team Mid again. The Team Mid experience is like that. And I'm not just saying that because he's a DMV representative.
No.
I'm saying it because I experienced and you experienced, and I felt like a kid creating again.
Oh yeah.
And because of that, whatever experience now that Team Mid is putting out there,
we might have one in Atlanta.
Yeah.
We can drive. You can drive.
Just a Team Mid. We talked a little bit about that Bali trip. I will 100%.
Oh, right.
I will 100%
Oh, yeah.
go with you.
Let me try. Let me
if you
start
go to
saving.
Bali. Yeah, we're going to go to Bali.
No, I'm going. I don't know about
guys,
you.
You see how fractured focal conversations can get.
Listen, if you can't go, I'm not canceling my plans. You on your own.
But real fast, while we're on the topic of conferences, there's a level of education that comes along with this. What do you encourage, before we get ready to get off of this, what do you encourage other creatives to do from an educational standpoint or connecting with conferences? Like what would you lend to someone who is looking for that extra piece?
I think you call it in the beginning, know what you want, right?
Mm-hmm.
So oftentimes we go somewhere and there's no vision in place.
Mm-hmm.
What are you trying to accomplish from this?
Mm-hmm.
And you have to stay focused and target this. If it's how do I run a business?
Mm-hmm.
How do I improve wedding photography? How do I improve portrait photography?
Mm-hmm.
So you have to establish what it is you are trying to gain from any conference,
mm-hmm.
any book that you read. Like, go into it with a plan,
mm-hmm.
and then go after these things first.
Yeah.
The rest can be, at your leisure, whatever you need to do. But at least when you go there, okay, my priority is X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
And hopefully you get, not all of them will be what you think it is, but at least you can map out what you expect to gain from it and target these first.
And know your community on a home base and see if you can get a few community members to go with you too. The cool thing that I really enjoyed was I love that the PMDC community was over at WPPI. I love that there was a DMV creative community at WPPI that had their own thing.
Or else you'll feel lost and lonely and alone because it's a lot of strangers in the room.
Yes.
It's some weird looking people in the room, and I'm like, I'm not hanging with you. I'm not going near you. And then there's people who's just overly nice, and you're like, the judgment Natasha comes in. I'm like, well, you're way too nice. But yes, you create a community that you can go with. It makes it a little bit more fun.
Yeah.
And then you can also accomplish some of the things that you go after with a group, right?
Yes. Shout out to Mimi.
Yeah.
Who
Mimi
kept
is funny.
me laughing the entire time we connected with her.
I think other than that, it would have been boring. Other than Mimi, teammate, I'll come back and say, yeah. So
Yeah. So
don't do this alone. I don't think you can go through this alone.
Yeah.
At all.
Those are our takeaway. We really enjoyed. I like the fact that now I know what each conference can kind of lend. We've literally been to every major conference for photography, and I like that we could say we did that.
Yeah,
we did that. Okay, so now we could say this is the one that we'll continue to
make a priority,
and things of that nature. And I like the fact that we talked to some reps that were at B&H about Build, and next year Build.
That's right.
Lord willing,
I have some work to do.
We're gonna have PMDC doing a walk out there, and I love that now we can incorporate our community and
into
different,
some of
and I'm super excited about that. So
Michael likes extra work. Me on the other, I'm thinking, okay, how are we gonna pull this off? This all falls on me to start the connection.
Hey, we got this. We got this.
I'm just letting y'all know. He gets very excited. I get very worried, and then when it comes to life, I'm like, okay.
Hey, but you always come through.
You see?
All right, on that note, guys,
I always come through.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of Focal Conversations. I'm Michael Edwards.
I don't know why we keep introducing ourselves, but I'm Natasha Henry. Do that on other podcasts. Everybody says their name.
Yes, it's a formality. It's a formality because you never know that there's a new person who's
Shannon and what's the Ocho don't introduce themselves every time they join because they're famous.
They're very informal. Yeah,
I'm famous. Y'all better know who I am.
This is Natasha Henry.
We're on Apple. Aren't we famous?
This is Natasha Henry.
And he's gonna still put the name on there. I have to keep repeating myself. It's like watching myself on Zoom.
Oh goodness! And guys, thank you so much for support. Guys, thank you for the comments and all the questions and the reposting of our quotes.
This is all him. So
guys,
thank you.
Thank you so much for that. And hey, we're now on Spotify. We're on iTunes, Apple iPods now. So I'm
famous.
Yes, you are.
So stop making me repeat who I am.
All right, guys. We'll see you guys later. Bye.